Hi, welcome back to this episode of the Chatterjack Podcast with me, your host, Lindsay. And today I'm joined by Claire. Good morning. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Claire McLean and I am a mum. I am a wife. I have a lovely little dog. We live in Gretna, and I am an entrepreneur, I suppose you could say. I own a consultancy, Realise HR. We cover HR recruitment and training. So you might have a few little questions and my top tips on things like that, which might be helpful to your audience. Great to be here today. Thank you.
No, thanks so much for joining us. And I know you are a very, very busy woman. So I really appreciate the time you've taken out. And you forgot to mention the award winner, chairperson, industry leader, all of these accolades that are on my paper, Claire McLean.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we look, it's lovely to be recognised. Like it's, when 25 years I've been in HR, so it's a long, long time. So 25 years this year, and it's just nice to be able to be recognised within the industry and peers and things like that. But that's certainly not why we do it, and not why I do it. Absolutely not. No.
Wow. So HR, tell me, how did you get into HR?
Ooh, okay, so cut a long story short.
We'll take the long version. It's a podcast after all. We've all day, it's fine.
So let's start off. So 19, 2 bin bags, and I left home and went to Edinburgh to study photography. So nothing to do with people, nothing to do with HR or anything like that. So went to Edinburgh, studied photography in the most beautiful city in Scotland and in the UK. If you, I know I'm biased, but spent 10 years there. And during my time there, so photography is my love. But I then went to work for Adobe in their technical team, using Photoshop and all of that kind of good stuff, which was great. And then there was something just missing from my, I suppose, career ambitions and what I wanted to do. There's something missing, and that was people. Okay. So I didn't feel that I was interacting with people enough. And I didn't feel that, I felt that I could maybe get more money doing different things, so quite entrepreneur-led thinking. I didn't know that at the time. Those words never entered my mind. But I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be surrounded by people, and I wanted to make a bit of cash, right? I wanted to get on. 21 at that point after I'd studied. So I got a job as a recruitment consultant. There was a little ad in the paper, as in those days there was paper ads, which is amazing. And it was, it read out saying, are you good with people, interacting with people? Are you looking for something where you have autonomy, that you can make business decisions and made a whole load of cash? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm in, right? So applied for the role, got the job, and on my first day they actually posted, so it was a recruitment agency, an amazing recruitment agency in Edinburgh, and they posted me down to the Royal Bank of Scotland on day one, which I didn't know anything about, right? So you might have seen, seen on my profile Royal Bank of Scotland. So in the good days of when Fred Goodwin was in charge, that's a whole different story. But I was posted down there, and this was during the merger with NatWest and the Royal Bank. And they were merging both of the systems, and what they needed was to recruit 1,500 IT contractors within about 3 months. So I was posted down there, and it was like, these are all the jobs, you're one of 3, so we had a great little team going, and it was like, go and recruit these people. So that's how I fell into HR, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
right off the deep end.
Oh, right off the deep end. Yeah, it was amazing learning, right? I mean, the learning curve was massive, but it was amazing. It was great. It was fun. It was fast paced. Got to chat to loads of people. I got to make a difference, and just working with hiring managers and just helping them, making sure that they've got the resource for their teams, and so they could crack on and do what they needed to do for their projects was great. It's good fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's how I started, right?
I love it. I did not know that about you, and I didn't know day one that you literally got pushed off the deep end straight into hiring. Wow. Okay, so that was a real eye-opener, sort of what happens in the industry, working closely with sort of probably senior leaders at that point, and then the interviewing general public as well, people, candidates coming in for a job. Yeah. It's very, very mixed bag, right?
Yeah, it was. So it was a right buzz, right? It was a real buzz. It was just exciting. We had a great team, and then I moved on to Tesco Personal Finance back in the day, it was called. So that was a joint venture between Tesco and Royal Bank. And again, it was at the early days, so they were very much starting up, and so it was all about making sure that they had the talent. So I was the kind of talent scout for them, and went out and make sure that they had all the resource that they needed. Wow. And that's when I kind of started to link in a lot more closely with HR, the HR team there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. My mum always thought I was going to be a lawyer. Didn't happen.
We'll come back to that.
But actually, HR, there's a lot of, obviously employment law is right up there. And so I had a real interest in it, actually. So maybe my mum was right all along. I'm not too sure, but we'll never know. But so I got involved with HR, and after that, then my career took me down more of a HR path, which was great. I learned so much. And very much a generalist. Back in the day, your HR career was a generalist HR career. So we did everything from recruiting to employee relations, to advice, to coaching, to learning and development, all of the above. Now it's a little bit more specialised because it's so broad as a career. But so it was all good fun, and that's how I got into HR.
I love it. I didn't know any of this about you, so this is really good. And I like that you're bringing it to life. So I guess we'll pause there then. So Mum thought you were going to be a lawyer. So let's go rewind before all of that. Yeah. And let's get to sort of Claire at school, Claire sort of studying. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that. Favourite subjects? Was it always art, doing then photography? Was it more the literary stuff?
So school was interesting for me, right? Mm-hmm. So born in Lancashire. Yeah. Went to primary school, tiny little Methodist school in Lancashire, which is so cute. I visit it and I'm going, oh, that is such the cutest little school. Really great, 2 classes type school, right? Brilliant. I was chirpy, but still quite reserved as a child. Outgoing in terms of like to be the outdoors. We lived on in the middle of nowhere, so I loved being in the middle of nowhere. That was my vibe. And then at 11 years old, my mum and dad and my brother, we all sat down for dinner, and my mum and dad put 2 little photos in front of us and said, see, if we were to move house, which one would you like? Which one would you prefer? Which one do you like best? And we were like, well, that one. Where we're moving to? Typical questions of an 11-year-old. My brother was 14 at the time, and little did we know that both of those houses were in France. Oh, so we left the UK and we went to France. So I was educated and I studied in France. So day one of moving to France was amazing. And then after the summer holidays, which are quite elongated in France, which is nice as a kid, I got put in this primary school, local primary school, Diddy primary school. Yeah. Nobody spoke English. The headmaster didn't speak English. My mum at the time I thought she was being quite cruel, but she just did literally just leave me at the front gates, but I think she was crying all the way home. Probably. Bless her. So favourite subject, so I did all my education in France until I came back when I was in my late teens. So favourite subject was art. Loved geography. Geography was, I had a real passion for travel and geography. Yeah. And I think that's because we were taken to a different country and, that sparked the interest there. History was not my greatest subject. Looking back is not really my vibe. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a look forward person. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I was always good at maths.
Interesting. So, parlez-vous français? Oui.
Oui, je parle français.
love that. Oh, wow. So that's amazing. And then you came back to England, or did you go to do your studies in Scotland?
So we came back to England. My mum and dad live in the Lake District, so we came back here, and then I moved from sleep at Allenby up to the big lights of Edinburgh.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. With 2 bin bags and a friend. As you do.
As you do, but kind of you'd got used to sort of moving about. So I guess then that brought you perhaps out of your comfort zone, that sparked that being able to communicate with people in 2 different languages,
Absolutely.
different cultures. So do you think that's maybe where it's come the people element of what you've gone on to do?
I think so, yeah, because actually at home I'm quite quiet, you know. I like a quiet, peaceful, calm environment. But I get lots of energy from chatting to lots of different people and getting to know lots of different people. And I've always been around, different nationalities, whether that is, living with them in Edinburgh or, the places where I've worked. So one place of work, we had 14 different nationalities under our roof, which was amazing. It was so interesting, and helping them with, I used to set up English classes for people that were coming over so that they could get a little bit of learning and integrate into the community and things like that, which was really lovely. So I've always been around different nationalities, and it's always been something that I love and I get my energy from. So
I really love that. So then just touching on that point then, what was on your school report?
On my school report, well, there was always could do better. Like there was always could do better. There was always the Claire's really personable and a lovely natured. Yeah. There was always that.
Nice.
Which is nice. Yeah. But yeah, I think my school report was always. I wasn't the best at school. I wasn't up there in the top. I got through. There's some things I love, some things I didn't like. Yeah. Put more effort into the things that I loved. I think that's just normal. Yeah. Human being nature, isn't
absolutely.
It? That's normal behaviour. But yeah, my school reports were probably quite average, middle of the road. I loved my sports. So. And I think reflecting back, the reason that I love my team sports is because I was in a team.
People.
Yeah.
You're proper people peeps.
Yeah. I think I am. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So I guess time of year that we're sort of recording this at the moment is there's a lot of people probably starting into secondary school or starting into university or perhaps graduated in summer, that sort of thing. So I guess from the roles that you do now and the career that you've gone on to do, what kind of things do you wish they knew, or what would you tell younger Claire? What piece of advice would you give?
I think not to think too far ahead. I think is really important. I think it's really important to do the best you can on the things that are within your control in the immediate kind of future. Not think too much and control what is uncontrollable, because it's way out in the future. I think that creates quite a bit of anxiety nowadays. If people have, it's great that people have loads of really long-term ambitions, but I think my career, the ambitions that I maybe had haven't come to fruition, but it's been okay because it's been other things. So I think don't put too much pressure on yourself to be X by a certain time. Actually, just take every day and every week as it comes, right? I'm a massive believer in the 1% gains. So if we've got 1% better every day, then just look at it by the end of the year, what it's going to be like. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to look too far ahead and feel like you're not on track or things like that.
That's brilliant advice. Because you're absolutely right. I think we've all been guilty of it, haven't we? And said, we need to have this and do this by then, and get wrapped up in that web. And
life is just not like that.
It's not.
It's just not like that, right? So I really do admire. I coach NDA graduates, which is like one of my absolute love projects. And so I've got about 50 graduates that I coach over their time with the NDA on their graduate programme. And the one thing I do absolutely admire is that, number one, they've got brains the size of small planets, amazing. But they are just so open to learning, and that is so key. And I wish when I was younger, although I was learning by doing, that's my learning style. Yeah. Which is great, but I probably didn't see it as learning at the time. But just being open to learning and understanding your learning style, I think, is really, really important, so that it can move you on probably at pace, which is nice. Those are a couple of things.
That's an interesting point. I probably have gone through the same. Yeah. totally get that. I feel like you've seen into my soul there, so thanks for that. All right then. So I guess if then you're going to get your first job, or you're going to start looking for that new role that you want to take. Firstly, a CV's still a thing. Do we still write a cover letter? Is that where we still are?
So CVs absolutely are a thing, okay. But please can we all forget about Canva and nice pretty CVs? That's not a thing. I think it's a thing for yourself, but it's not necessarily a thing for the hiring person. Yeah. So nice and simple Word document, really, really clear, very little formatting is the way forward. So less is more with a CV. Okay. So we're talking maybe 2 to 3 pages max, and even for somebody who's in a 15, 20 year career, we're still talking about 2 to 3 pages max.
Got you. Okay.
And the other thing on a CV is it has to be impact led. So I always say, what is the so what question? Mm-hmm. So I've done X, Y, Z. So what? What did it actually achieve by you doing that? Okay. Yeah. So it has to be impact led.
Got you.
So if you ask yourself every little sentence, so what at the end of it, and you think, and if there's no answer to the so what, take it off. Take it off.
That's good. That's good inside scoop. No, I like that.
Yeah.
I think
I think we think when we're writing our own CV that we have to put down every single task or every single thing that we do. Mm-hmm. But actually, if you're a HR advisor and you're going for a HR advisor, there's certain things that are just understood. Yeah. That's what you would do as a HR advisor anyway. So we don't need to pop that on there. That's a given, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's make it impactful.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for sharing that.
That's all right.
I like that. I feel like we've seen behind the curtain there. That's
Yeah. And watch out for my I am going to be TikToking, if that's even a word, TikToking on my insights from behind the curtain as a HR pro. So coming near you soon.
I will reshare that. We'll link. Tom, will you link that in the bottom? Thank you. You'll put it in the comments when it comes out.
Super.
That sounds good. So then I guess moving on to there, we've got lots of these conversations happening at the moment. So I have quite a young team at the Chatterjack office, and I love it. Absolutely love it. But I see a lot on LinkedIn and a lot on the news and a lot of stuff out there about our next generation of employees, of workers, of colleagues. Is it true? Is it all true? Is it just a generational thing? There's stuff that's out there. What's your hot take on that?
So the thing about generations is that we've never had so many generations all in one workplace at the same time. So we've got the 5 different generations, because we've got Generation Alpha now coming into the workplace. 16-year-olds, Generation Alpha, the most technologically connected group of people and generation who are used to doing things at the end of their phone. We know how it goes, right? So generations, I think there's this huge richness and opportunity by having different generations in the workplace. From a learning point of view, from a development point of view, from a knowledge, skills, experience point of view. So, but we have to look at the world of work in a slightly different way, I think, whereby we have to, I've always said, what are the strengths? So if we think of it in terms of strengths, not necessarily background or experience, but strengths. So if you're good at the people thing, I'm good at the analytical thing, we might make a good team to do X, right? Okay. So I think we need to think of teams as strengths, and how we come together and collaborate, and how we share information and knowledge and experience. So there's something really powerful about having a really diverse team, diverse thinking within the workplace, and having more generations within one team is a real positive thing. And I actually see since COVID we have seen slightly older generations actually coming back into the workplace for various reasons, whether that is loneliness, actually they realise, wait a minute, I've got loads of skills here, I want to share that, I want to share it with the next generation and stuff like that. Blimey, let's not miss a trick here. We can really find some amazing talent. Having said that, we might need to think slightly differently as to how we employ them.
Yes.
Right? So that comes into play, and let's be cute about it. Let's be clever about it. Actually, there is a way forward. It doesn't have to be, you know, out of a box. It doesn't have to be box-like. We can think outside the box a little bit.
It's very much been that for as long as I've known. And you're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. Yeah. But how we do that, I think, does it depend on the industry? Does it depend on the business?
It does, right? A bit of both. Depends on the industry, depends on the job, depends on, you know, the culture, etc. How, you know, the projects, the actual deliverables, you know. But I think if we just paused a little bit, pause to think outside the box and come up with possibly a better solution that makes everything better. Outputs for customers, employee engagement levels go up, productivity goes up, growth, etc. So there's definitely benefits to pausing and thinking through. And I think from a personal perspective, you know, when you're going for a job as well, I think, you know, back in my day, it was 9 to 5 and it was, you know, very mandated. Fine. But I absolutely advocate for spending time in the office. So I don't think there's anything better, especially when you're at your early career, to be in an environment where you can listen to others, where you can listen to somebody on the phone, you can ask a question quickly, etc. There is nothing beats that, nothing. And whilst, look, I'm an extroverted person, so it might be easier for us to be able to do that and enjoy that. And I understand that not everybody, you know, for our introverted colleagues, that is a real struggle, and it can be daunting, it can be
overwhelming, isn't it?
It's overwhelming, you know, all of that. And I absolutely get that. But I do think there's an element of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, because the gains are so big, the opportunities are so big.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely like to see that people are taking advantage of the office and coming together and collaborating and learning, especially early careers.
Yeah, it is good advice. I mean, you can put a message on Teams, but that might be Spain that day, it might be tomorrow, there might be meetings.
Absolutely,
you know, just have that chat around the coffee machine, whatever.
100%. You know, we know that the productivity levels in the UK are not great, right? So let's not wait half an hour for an email to be sent back. Let's pick up the phone. Let's be in the office. There are things within our control that we can do to help productivity and efficiencies within work.
That's brilliant advice. Oh, there we go. So we've got 2 hot takes there, Claire. That's great. Thank you. I love it. So then while we're on that topic then, I guess myth busting. Let's get into myth busting.
Okay.
Top 3? 5 if you want. I know you'll have a few. So.
So interviews.
Yep.
I think there's a myth that I think there's a myth that interviewers have preconceived ideas before people go in, right?
Got you.
So I think there's a myth there. Actually, interviewers want to have the best possible crack that they can with the person, because they want a really slick recruitment process, right? They know they've got an empty seat and they need somebody in who's got all the skills, knowledge and experience to be able to do that job and deliver, right? So they don't really have time to muck about and all the rest of it. So they want that interview to be the most productive, etc. So interviews go in with a real open mind to go, I want to get to know Lindsay. So I think there's a bit of a myth that there's preconceived outcomes.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good one. Okay.
What other myths are there?
What myths have you got?
Ooh, I'm not too sure.
We'll come back to that.
I shall think on it.
Thanks. So then we're talking about different workforces and all that sort of thing. Now I know inside a little bit of realise, and I know that you're an advocate for a bit of AI, a bit of process, a bit of automations, a bit of Copilot, slick. We have a little bit of a running joke in the office, and I'm sure my gorgeous husband won't mind me saying this. So David joined the business as our ops director 3 years ago now, and this was following
massive growth within the organisation. And I went to the doctors with the sore throat, and I came back out and I was fat, depressed, stressed, and having a bit of a meltdown. But anyway, fast forward 5 minutes as I walked up the road with this lovely feedback from my doctor, and David, my husband, was like, I thought you had a sore throat. What's going on? So I told him, and he was like, okay. So he was self-employed. He had his own property maintenance business at the time. He's from a manufacturing corporate background, and he was like, well, do you know what? I'll quit my job. I'll wind it down, and I'll come and join you, and I'll take away some of the back office work from me. I was like, oh my goodness, what a lifesaver. What a man. Yeah. Brilliant. So fast forward 3 years, and we now have David 2.0, right? So David 2.0, we love David 2.0. So I have been learning at my, ripe age of 48, learning how to automate some processes, make it so much more, not only efficient for us, but so much more, so much slicker for our clients, so much more engaging for our clients. So I've been learning how to automate some processes, which has been fabulous. So some of the things that Dave 1.0 did are now Dave 2.0.
Love.
So he can focus on other things, right? To help grow the business. So it's great. So I'm really enjoying that, because I think it's really opened my eyes to massive opportunity. And I am not a fan of automating everything where there's a human being required. I mean, I'm a people person, right? So I'll always go person and human over bot. However, there are some things that we can do to automate processes. So that's good. And some of the things that we do at Realise, which is probably not well known, is we help our clients with their process mapping as well, and efficiencies. So, we love a bit of brown paper, sticky notes. Let's get it all out on the wall, and let's help you streamline and things like that. So that's great. We are an advocate of Copilot in terms of helping analyze data. Thanks to our IT providers, who've shown us the possibilities. We do use Copilot, which is, we're a HR firm, so we deal with a lot of sensitive data. So we're very, very conscious, as Cyber Essentials accredited, that we look after our clients' data, employee data, etc. And we have the paid version of Copilot, which is locked down to us and our tenant, etc., that most people know. But yes, so really important to us. But we do use it, and I think organisations. I speak to a lot of smaller businesses, and I think it's use it or be left behind. So what is it that we can use? And it's moving so fast. I mean, I just can't keep up, right? We've got tech coming out of our ears nowadays, haven't we? And it's really hard to decide what's right for you. Am I going to kiss a few frogs to get to the prince? Absolutely. But that's such as life, right?
It is. It absolutely is. So I guess then, are the robots coming?
No.
I asked someone this the other week on the pod as well. So I was like, what's your take on that?
Robots. Well, I have a robot at home.
Does it cut the grass?
It does.
Love.
So Mo, the lawnmower, cuts our grass.
Love.
And it's amazing. That's all I'll say on robots. Yeah. We're not going to replace people, blimey. Come on, it would be sad. It would be very sad. But I do think that there is technology out there that can really help us, whether it is in our personal lives, with well-being, whether it is with, our careers, whether it is in business. There's lots of opportunity for technology, and it absolutely has its place, right?
Agreed.
But robots in the workplace, I'm not 100%.
You said just before we started recording, I got you on your high horse, didn't I, about the chatbots? So.
You did. Yeah, you did. I'm not a fan of talking to bots, to be fair. No.
Get a person.
And nor am I a fan of waiting 4 hours and speaking to somebody on the phone either. But patience is a virtue, as I say. So, yeah.
Apparently so. So I'm gonna skip forward. So you were at ABS, then you went to, was it a Plexus where you had the 14 nationalities?
Well, it actually wasn't. I went from Royal Bank of Scotland to a place called Farnes. So this was a smoked salmon manufacturer in the Scottish borders. They supply, they did supply at the time, the kind of big four supermarkets. Lots of different nationalities there, so that was amazing. And that's where Alison, my mentor in HR, she was a HR director at the time. I joined us in a more recruitment role because of my background, and she's been an amazing mentor throughout my career. And that's one thing I would highly recommend, that you get everybody gets a mentor in for their career and help them. Because when things get tricky, you can pick up the phone, right?
How do you find one?
Well, good question. Reach out, again, you might kiss a few frogs before you get the prince. And that's okay, right? It has to be the right person to mentor you. So reach out on LinkedIn, ask in your network, I'm looking for a mentor. This is the reason why. See who you get. You never know who comes up. There might be somebody in your workplace that you really admire, or they're in a role that you aspire to be in. Go and chat to them and say, I want to be in your job in 5 years' time. Can you be my mentor, please?
Yeah.
Who's going to say no? Come on.
Great advice.
So that's when I moved into my first HR management role. Then I went to Plexus, so American manufacturer of electronics, and I had a global role there. So I was over to America and working on global projects for them, which was an amazing opportunity. Then I became a mum and needed a little bit of family support, so relocated back down to the west, across to the west coast, to be closer to my family and my husband's family. And landed at the most wonderful manufacturing site that is McVitie's in Carlisle. Iconic.
Just the smell.
Oh, the smell. The gingerbread. Oh, smell. Yeah, the ginger nuts. Yeah, so amazing. Literally, the first day that I went into that, I mean, I'm a massive manufacturing geek, right? Yeah. I love how it's made on TV. I love it. And when I went...
Just imagine you and David's conversation around the table.
Oh, yeah. Let's not go there. So the first day I went into the manufacturing site, into the site, it is like Willy Wonka's kind of chocolate. There are like tubes everywhere and machines and conveyor belts and all the rest of it. Brilliant. I absolutely love it. So absolutely love that brand and that company, and they're really smashing it. But
and you were there for quite a while, and you started out as, were you the business
partner there? So I was a HR business partner, so leading the site. Yeah, really good question. So HR business partner, we don't necessarily deal with all the day-to-day kind of maybe absence issues, things like that, advisory work. What we're there to do is make sure that whatever the goals and ambitions are of the site or the business, that actually we look at it from a people lens.
All right, okay.
So if a company is looking to grow by 40% in the next 12 months, merge, divest, whatever their ambitions are that they're going through, actually we'll look at it from a people lens.
Got you.
Do we have the right people in the right place with the right skills at the right time?
Got you.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
That is in its simplest terms.
Yeah.
So business partner would be highly commercial, in terms of having real great commercial awareness, understand the business, how it works, etc., and look at it from a people perspective. And help with, making sure that you've got talent plans, that you've got, the resourcing plans needed, that you've got the right performance framework in place, that you've got the right early careers programs in place, that type of stuff.
Love it.
Really interesting role.
Really interesting
Yeah.
role. And
Yeah.
especially with what happens there, and it grows, and then all that great
Yeah,
stuff that
and then, you know,
happens.
after 18 months, actually, there's a change of direction. Well, what
Yeah.
does that mean from a people point of view, right?
Yeah.
What do we need to do to
Absolutely.
achieve it? So, so super interesting. I actually run a HR business partner course as well for the HR
Cool.
community, just helping them understand what a business partner is rather than an operational day-to-day HR role. So, yeah.
Very different.
Very different. Very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
There has been a little bit of blurring of the lines over the last 10 years.
Okay.
Which is, yeah. But a really interesting role, yeah. And very different, yeah.
Yeah. So then you went through that channel, you went through that path, had a couple of different jobs, and then you went, right, I'm done with this. I'm going to set up camp on my own.
Yeah, absolutely. And
tell us how that come about.
Yeah, well, without a sob story, I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 37, as you know, and I went through 2 years of treatment, etc., and basically thought that I needed a bit more work-life balance. So I thought, I think I'll set up on my own. Now,
How's that going for you?
well, 9 years this October. I wouldn't say that the work-life balance has been nailed over the 9-year period, and any business owner will, that will resonate with any business owner. So, but I have plans on that. You can ask me about that later. But so I started 9 years ago, set up Realise HR. It was just me. Most of my family are entrepreneurs and they've had businesses in the past, and so my family dining table evening crack was about commercials, invoicing, cash flow, sales, all of that, right? So I was kind of used to that. I was used to that. Yeah. Oh yeah, my mum did all the bookkeeping, VAT return, all of that.
Love it.
So yeah, so my kind of dinner table as I was growing up was all that crack, which so that wasn't wasn't it was very different, but it wasn't new to me. So so anyway, started up Realise HR 9 years ago. It was just me. Now we've got a team of 11.
Awesome.
We work with some of the most amazing clients. Like, we work with the really small micro businesses that have got like 1, 2, 3 employees who are really ambitious, really want to grow, and we help them on their journey, which is an absolute honour for us to be able to support them. And we absolutely don't take that for granted. We love our mighty SMEs, as I call them, right up to the PLCs, right? So we've got some of the best brands that we work, and most loved brands in the UK that we work with and across the globe. Specsavers, Cloud9, those types of businesses, and we're really fortunate to be able to support them with their people agendas, right? So everything we do is helping businesses with their growth and their performance through people, and by focusing on people. It's dead simple.
I love it.
You would think.
Yeah. And that's so did that kind of spark light when you were at United Biscuits at McVitie's? Did that think, I could do this myself? Or was it just, actually, do you know what, I probably need a bit of me time, I want a bit slower, work for myself and choose my hours, that sort of thing?
There was I've one thing I will say is I have a little bit of a saying that is, my network is my net worth, and that might sound a little bit corny, right? But there is something about, because I'm a people person, I've always networked. Yeah. I think I set up my LinkedIn profile when LinkedIn just started. What's that, 20 odd years ago? Yeah. And actually that has been really helpful in business, right? Not from I can capitalize on all of this network. That's not what that's about, right? Yeah. So for me, a network is my phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Yeah. It's my phone a friend. Yeah. And I need to phone friends quite often. And I would, the grads that I coach, I always say, build your network, build your network, build your network. It will serve you right in the future. You might not think you need it now, but I am 100% sure that you'll need it at some point in your career. Yeah. So build that network, and I don't think we do enough of that. I don't think we talk about that enough with when you're early in your career.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Because if you were in London, like, let's be honest, you see it on the finance bros. They all go out for dinner, drinks after work, all that sort of thing. And we tend not to do that in our part of the world.
We don't, no.
Why is that?
Have
you noticed
well,
that?
I think location is a big thing.
Okay.
You know, I think we all live 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, the logistics of it all. However, nowadays, you know, sobriety is a much bigger thing, you know, from a health and wellbeing point of view. So that might break down some barriers. You know, when I lived in Edinburgh for 10 years, well, yes, it was. I literally left the office, went to the pub with my peers, with my colleagues, met out with friends. That's how we networked, you know. It was on your doorstep, I suppose.
You could just get the train.
We have limitations here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of logistics. So I think that's probably why. But online networking is a possibility. We've got LinkedIn, we've got online, you know, networking groups. We've got, there are hundreds of groups on LinkedIn, you know, so that are really specific to your career of choice, you know, so whether you want to be in HR, payroll, you know, production, social media marketing, whatever it is, there are some great groups out there that you can be part of. And that's a good way to build your network as well.
Great advice. So that's now 3 hot takes we've got.
Oh,
I'm loving these. I'm loving it. So then I'm going to ask you, I alluded to this before, actually. With all that in mind, then, what have you changed your mind on lately?
Look, I'm really fortunate, and I know how lucky I am to be able to take a nice summer retreat. Okay, so for the past 3 years, my husband and I and our daughter have been able to go abroad for 6 weeks every summer and remote work, which is lovely. But what that does, it actually is really good reflection time halfway through the year. So it's really good for me. And I think that's another top tip as well. Put reflection time in your diary, half an hour on a Friday, pop it in your diary and just say, right, let me just reflect on this week. What's gone well, what's not gone well? What could I do differently? Have I got my, you're going to believe me here, have I got my together for next week? And let's get organised, okay? So that's one thing, but yeah, I'm really fortunate to be able to reflect in summer because I've got a bit more time where I'm away from the office and I'm remote working. And this year I thought, you know what, I'm now in a position where I kind of need to look after my health and well-being a little bit more, right? Yeah. So I'm 10 years post-diagnosis and post my cancer treatment, etc. Not getting any younger, Lindsay. But
no, none of us are, sadly.
I would like, and it's a bit of a New Year's resolution for 2026, I would like to maybe take an afternoon off on a Friday. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, actually, maybe I don't need to do full 5 days. Yeah. Maybe I don't need to be in the office at 8 o'clock or online at 8 o'clock and be online at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Maybe I don't need to do that anymore. Maybe there's ways that I can start to look at a different way of working. And, you know, I've been on a journey from a health point of view, but, you know, you know, gymming it and looking after myself and stuff like that over the past 18 months and which has been really helpful, you know, for my mental health and physical health. You know, try and do all my steps every day, that type of stuff. But, you know, it's the small things and it's that 1%. It's the 1%.
Back to what you said.
It's the 1%.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I would change. It's not a change as such. It's, I call it an evolution, right?
It's like where you've replaced your priorities almost.
Absolutely, a little bit. Yeah. And I think, you know, 25 years in HR, as HR professionals, we often think of ourselves last. So we are always thinking about the employee, the business, the client, you know, the other person, what's happening in their world, etc. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I could absolutely write a book on all the situations that I've been involved in over my career. And some of them are really traumatic and really harrowing, right? And things happen to people that then affect them in work. Yeah. And it can be really emotionally draining. And a massive shout out to my, you know, HR peers, because we are most of the time quite selfless. Yeah. And that can take its toll as well. So I do think as a HR pro, we do need to recharge our batteries every so often. So yeah, look after yourself, right? Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
So touching on that then, I really want to ask you this question. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but
go on.
What's the most bizarre thing you've had to deal with from a HR? Mentioning no names.
No names.
Give us one of Claire McLean's stories, because I know you've got loads.
Do you know, I've got loads of stories, and it is
wonderful.
on the agenda to write the little book. You know, it's been on the agenda for a long time. But yeah, I mean, one of the funniest stories, but not funny, was a lady was coming in for an interview. So I was with a large global brand. I was with their CEO. Important position we were interviewing, and this lady came in, and unfortunately she fell off a chair when she went to sit down.
Stop it.
Yeah, I felt terrible.
Stop it.
I felt terrible. Like, I felt terrible. I really did. I was like, oh my goodness, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want us to leave the room? Let you get yourself together? What do you want us to do? I mean, a credit to her. She got herself together, and she did an amazing.
Walked out.
I was nearly crying for her, right? Yeah. Oh, blimey. Oh, so whilst it was funny, it was not funny, and it was just all mixed emotions. But there you go. One for the book, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah. Put that in the book. Yeah. Oh, bless her.
I know.
Yeah. That's nerves as well, isn't it? Makes you do the weirdest things.
Oh, awful. Yeah.
Oh, bless her. Poor woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I guess 3 things that you wished people knew about working in HR or working in recruitment, things that people perhaps don't expect falls under your role or realise this role, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I suppose it's a bit of a myth. So going back to your myth question, HR. So if I take our 3 core services, HR, recruitment, training, right? So I'll do one of each. Yeah. My help. So HR, we are not the HR police. Let's just get it out there. We're not the HR police, right? We are not there to rule the roost. You know, we are there to guide, advise. Yeah. We are not there to make the decisions and have the last say and all the rest of it. Okay, so I suppose that's a myth that needs busting there.
So we can be friends with HR.
Absolutely. Do you know, I, to this day, I still get ex-colleagues messaging me going, I remember what you told me all those years ago. I remember this. I've got a new job. I thought I'd let you know because you took so much time to help me with my development. So it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. You know. So please don't be anti-HR. Like, we are nice people. Yeah. So I think, you know, in HR, hidden things. We deal with a lot of difficult situations that probably not many people know about. Of course they don't, right? Yeah. So the confidentiality aspect of HR is critical. Yeah. And that comes with sometimes burden that only maybe 1 or 2 people can actually talk about. Yeah. Right. So you know, so if you're getting into HR, you do have to have a bit of a thick skin, right? Yeah. And it's okay to have a cry. It's all right to have a cry. Yeah. I did it the other day, right? I was dealing with something and I was like, this is so sad. It makes me sad. I had a little cry. It was really sad. It was really traumatic. But anyway, it was one of the saddest things I've dealt with in my career. But anyway, so HR, so, you know, it's not an easy career, but it is hugely rewarding. We see light bulb moments in people. We see people progress through their career. We see people develop. We see people get the promotion. We see people overcome barriers that they never thought they'd be able to overcome. It is so rewarding, right? I'm in the buzz. I've got little goosebumps now talking about it. Yeah. From a recruitment point of view, there is nothing better than picking up that phone to a candidate, whether you're a recruitment consultant or an in-house HR person, and saying, we'd like to offer you that job.
I can't imagine what that's like.
It's amazing. Yeah. Like, literally, we're high-fiving because it's just so lovely to be able to pass on that good news.
Love it.
Love that. Again, super rewarding. And from a training perspective, for anybody who knows our head of learning, Helen Askew, extraordinaire, who is amazing with people in the room, but training, So what people maybe don't recognise with training is that when you're in a room full of people and training for a full day, not only is there so much preparation, we don't just rock into the training room and go, ta-da,
we're ready, with my PowerPoint, my deck.
So there's so much preparation, but which is really good because you can really get into the details as to what you're trying to achieve and how delegates are what they're gonna get out of it, and make it the most value and impactful that it could possibly be in a really engaging and creative way. So that's really nice to do all the prep work and the design work. I mean, me and Helen love getting around the table and doing the design work, right? How can we make it different, and how can it be interactive, and how can we satisfy, our introverts and our extroverts, and all of that. So it's great. And then when you're in the room, so that's a great bit. When you're in the room, love delivering training. It is exhausting though. So when I get home at night and I've done a full day of delivery, literally it's like, please can nobody chat to me. I'm done.
I've used my 85,000 words for the day, whatever it is. That daily word.
Gone. Gone. Yeah, absolutely. So it is exhausting, but again, hugely rewarding, right?
I love it. I love it. So then, what would you say to somebody who's thinking, maybe I'm interested in HR, or I'd like to maybe explore a career in HR? What sort of things or advice would you give to someone sort of starting that journey?
So HR is so broad, in terms of topic, anything from recruitment to employee experience to reward and benefit to learning and development, all of these, employment law, the advice. So so there are different careers that you can have all within the HR umbrella. Okay. A little bit like marketing if you think about it.
Very much so.
So what I would say is that it's very good to get a grounding in most of those in your early career, and to soak up as much as possible. And the reason I say that is because you can't work in a silo in all of those little buckets. There are lots of HR functions have specialist areas and specialist jobs. However, I call it joining the dots, right? You have to be able to join the dots between all of it. So what we're doing over here and in learning development may have an impact on what's going on over here. So if you're thinking about a career in HR, then go and get a good grounding in all of those, and be in an office where you can listen to all of those specialists in their field, because no doubt they'll have all started in a generalist role as well. And what you think you might like, actually, once you've been involved in it, you might not like anymore, and you might like this bit over here, right? So, be a generalist and get a good grounding, I would say.
Advice. Really, really good advice. So last couple of questions from me. You'll be glad to know you've done very well, thank you. Last couple of things. What's next for Realise?
Next. Well, look, we will carry on doing what we do best, right? We stay in our lane, we do what we do best, and that is focusing on people to drive company growth. And that means different things to different businesses, and different people and different leaders. So we'll keep up. We're growing. We've had a absolutely smashing 2025. We're looking at a 40% growth this year, which is amazing. We've grown the team. We've gone into new offices. I mean, now I'm actually talking out loud here and thinking, blimey, we've had a really big year, right? I've maybe not reflected on all of that. So 2025 has been a fantastic year, and we'll go into 2026 with the same ambition, the same mission, which is to support our clients with their business needs and help people. And our absolute heartstring thing is that we want to improve people's working lives. So everything that we do is to help improve people's working lives, because let's face it, maybe 40 years we'll be working.
It's a long time.
5 days a week. It is a long stint, isn't it, of your life? Well, we want to make it as enjoyable as possible for as many people as possible. That's the aim, right?
Love it.
And I once worked with a very wise gentleman who said to me, Claire, when it's fun, it gets done. And I always remember that, because we have fun. We love what we do, And we love working with all of our amazing clients. So, but yeah, when it's fun, it definitely does get done.
That is some brilliant advice. We can relate to that in the funnily enough, I can relate to that in the Chatterjack office too.
Never.
I know it comes as a shocker. But you know you're going to have rough weeks where you're like, oh, we've all got to, we call ourselves corporate weapons.
Yes.
We've all got to get on and do the stuff.
Yes.
But then we can have the good times, we can have the giggles.
Yeah.
And
so I've got a bit of a theory on this one. And blimey, I can't remember the lady's name that I was listening to the podcast, so I'm going to steal it from her. Emma Greed, is it?
Emma Greed, yeah.
Yeah, Emma Greed.
She's the Skims lady, isn't she?
Skims co-founder, yes. And a good American. Founder. I love listening to her because she's so raw, she's so dead honest. Love
straight
it.
Down the line.
So her theory, and I was like, yes, that is absolutely it. So she said, just think of your life in 30%, in thirds. So it is when you're having a bad day, that is your third. Rest assured that there's going to be better days, and there's going to be even better days as part of your chunking it up in thirds. And I was like, oh, I like that, because you know when you're in it and you're having a pretty bad day and you think this is endless, actually it's not endless, it is going to end. And there will be a better day and an amazing day. So that's just the third. So you've still got 60% of the greatness and the good stuff. So I quite like that. Quite like that.
I love it. You don't get rainbows without rain either.
Absolutely.
You don't get rainbows without rain.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you've been a brilliant guest. Thanks so much for joining us on the pod. Really insightful and really great to hear about, how to progress through HR, the different facets, and also about you and your story as well. So I really appreciate that you've shared that with us today.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. My pleasure.
Thank
Never
you.
a chore.
Well, that wraps up this episode of our Chatterjack podcast. Don't forget to give us a like, a share, or a comment. It means more to us than you know, and it helps us grow our pod massively. So thank you very much. Thanks to Claire again, and we'll see you again soon.